Hello there. Welcome to another Starfield video. This is going to be part 2 of the kind of the weapon series I did. Part 1 I uploaded last week, where I covered 6 pistols that I think that you should check out. And this is part 2, where I will be covering 6 assault rifles, or rifles that aren't technically snipers, that I think you should check out. So we're going to start the list off with the best mag weapon. Now, as we've kind of shown in the other video and stuff, we've kind of talked about them. These mag weapons are developed by Core Dynamics, Core Kinetics, Core Dynamics. That's in Elite Dangerous. Core Kinetics, where they basically make something. It's almost like a railgun on kind of like steroids. Instead of firing like one slug, it fires multiple. So this is kind of like a shotgun, but it's technically a rifle. So if we look at the damage, also just FYI, with all these weapons, we're going to be using the advanced version. The advanced, the name after the weapon. So there's standard, modified, superior, and advanced. And advanced is the highest here. You start to see them around level 29 plus. This is the advanced mag shear. It has a base damage of 25. It fires .50 caliber MI rounds. I'm not sure what the MI stands for. It's got 75 rounds in the magazine. It's got a fire rate of 300, a range of 52, accuracy of 69.0. It's pretty heavy at 3.9. So this is, yeah, like I said, this is a pretty cool weapon. It definitely kind of fills the niche if you want like a kind of a science fiction-y rifle, but like one that's kind of like rooted in reality, like in realism. Because railguns are definitely possible. Now, this version of a railgun, I'm not sure if it would be possible, just because I feel like the idea of adding multiple like barrels to the gun would kind of make it more difficult. But anyway, cool little bullpup design, which I quite like. I feel like bullpups should be the future. Anyway, we're going to go check out some of the stats on the weapon, and then we'll do a little testing. So, with the mag shear, with the barrel, we've got your standard barrel that just keeps it the standard range. We've got a short barrel that increases the ADS, but you lose some accuracy and recoil. It also lightens the mass. We've got a magnetic rail that increases the rate of fire and damage. And then we've got a long barrel, which increases the accuracy. So for this one, we're going to be going with the magnetic rail. So we'll slap this bad boy on. It requires one super cold magnet, 2 cobalt, and a lubricant. Next, for the lasers, we got no laser or a recon laser sight. The main kind of addition of the... Where does the laser sight go? Am I blind? I don't see where it goes. There's a Picatinny rail on the bottom and the top, but it just marks enemy as increases your accuracy. It's kind of an essential, and it uses zero wire, vanadium, palladium, and adhesive. So for the muzzle, we've got no mod, which keeps as is. We've got a compensator that increases stability and hipfire accuracy, the cost of long-range accuracy. And then we've got the muzzle brake, which does the exact opposite. And then we have the shocking charge barrel band, electrified device that attaches an electric burst the enemy of energy to rounds pass through it. So basically, it makes the rounds electrified. So we're going to go with this just because it adds, I'm assuming it adds kind of damage over time. Requires terbium, I think that's how you say it, polymer, titanium, and adhesive. For the magazine, we've got the standard mag, tactical mag, which basically makes the mag lighter and increases reload speed and aimed on sight. We've got armor-piercing rounds that are more powerful casings, and then we have depleted uranium. Now, depleted uranium is a straight upgrade, as you can see. Same damage. The damage goes up by 29 to 32, but it also increases the range, so we're going to increase that. And then finally, for the internal mods, we've got no mod. We've got high velocity, which increases your accuracy and range. High power, which increases your damage. Or hair trigger. We're going to go with high power. It uses titanium, adhesive, tantalum, and ISO-centered magnets. So in our usual spot here, we're playing on very hard difficulty, and we're gonna fight some enemies. So let's go check it out. Alright, so we're just heading to the usual location. So as always, I am playing on very hard difficulty. just to kind of test these weapons. And one of the cool things about this weapon is you see like it has these laser beams, so that's the amount of rounds it shoots. It shoots, what is that? Can I count? It's 5 times 5, so 25 rounds on each trigger pull, which is kind of insane. I'm assuming it kind of shoots a more kind of advanced version of like a ball bearing, a metallic ball bearing. So if we check it out. Oh, it's the full auto variant. So as you can see, this thing absolutely shreds. Oh, and now one makes me perfect. There's a special version of this you get from doing the Crimson Fleet quest. Oh, I'm about to die. I'm gonna heal myself. And this thing just absolutely shreds. This is definitely up there. If you're looking for like a high DPS weapon, this is the weapon for you. As you can see, it absolutely shreds. Not to mention the that's with those depleted uranium rounds, it adds a cool little. To confirm, I'm on the difficulty. Yep, on very hard. Cool. The only kind of negative with this gun is it absolutely tears through ammo. Now, if you're lucky enough to find a version that has an increased fire rate, and you've got like a decent prefix, this gun would be absolutely insane. I mean, it already is insane, but yeah. And it's pretty good hip fire versus range. Now, at longer ranges, it's not amazing. Like, it's not bad. Let me just... As you can see, like, the thing is, like, very little recoil. It's very manageable. And I'm on controller, so if you're on PC, you probably have an easier time managing it. Yeah, that was Weapon 1, the Mag Shear by Mag. We're now jump to our next weapon on the list that I recommend. Alright, so the next weapon on our list, this is another one of the kind of the OP. This weapon, like the last episode where I covered one of the other House of Ruin weapons, the pistol, this is the assault rifle version. This thing carried me through the game. It is a very powerful weapon. It fires both ballistic and energy. And I have no perks for this weapon, but without perks on very hard, it absolutely slaps. If you put perks into it, or if you get a legendary variant, it'll be just insane. So by default, it has 90 physical damage and 292 energy damage. It fires heavy fuse. It's got a mag of 20, 25 fire rate, 91 range, 82 accuracy, and 6 mass. Now obviously there's some perks on here that might mess with these stats a little bit, so we're gonna go and check it out. The House of Ruin weapons are just so cool. I'm so excited to see how they kind of add in more when the game kind of comes out. So we start off, we got the standard barrel, which doesn't really do anything. That brings the stats down to a default. We've got the stabilizing barrel, specialized mag-assisted barrel, vastly improves accuracy and recoil at the cost of aim down sight speed while standing still. And then we have this version that increases the accuracy, recoil. So it's kind of like, it's like the usual. This one is more for if you're hip firing and you're on the move, and this one's if you're more firing, not hip firing. For our laser, we have your standard Nomad. We have our laser sight, which helps the target acquisition and accuracy, or we have the recon laser sight, which helps with accuracy a little bit more. For the optic, we've got short scope, which gives us a 2-time magnification. We have... Oh, that's kind of cool, actually, how there's 2 sights. We have the reflex sight, which slaps the sight on the back. We've got the recon scope, which marks enemies while aiming. And then we've got the iron sight. Now, for this weapon, I don't really use a sight necessarily, so I'm just going to go with iron sights. So for the nozzles, we've got no nozzle, spread nozzle, which changes it into a shotgun-like spread. Focus nozzle, which increases headshot damage and range and normal damage. And then we have focal lens, which increases accuracy. So I'm going to go, you'll notice here that both these versions increase the damage. I'm going to go with the focus nozzle because I like being more accurate. For magazine and battery, we've got standard mag. We have tactical mag, which is a lighter mag that increases aim down sight and reload speed. And we have annihilator rounds. Now, annihilator rounds are really cool. I've covered this before, but the big issue with them is that they do a damage over time effect and they kind of like spreads to other targets. So if you play Destiny, it's kind of like thorns, poison damage, how it spreads. Now, I wouldn't recommend using this if you tend to fight alongside friendlies, as this can hit friendlies, and it could cause friendlies to aggro and get pissed off with you, basically. So we're going to go with the tactical mag. And then for the internal, we have no mod. We have an amplifier that increases the damage by a shocking amount. No pun intended. So it brings the physical up by an extra 13 and the energy by an extra 90. Overclock, we're going to go with physical. And then, yeah, let's go check this bad boy out. Alright, so here we are again. It's like I was saying, this is such a really cool weapon, and it carried me through my my first playthrough, or my first New Game Plus playthrough. I found one of these in the underneath the lodge, you know, the kind of the armory underneath the lodge, and I was like, yeah. As you can see, when you hit the target, there's kind of like a little kind of field on the ground that stays there. That's like the damage over time. But as you can see, it does. This weapon would be kind of adept for if survival mode comes out. Like, so in survival mode in previous like Fallout games, ammo weighs something, and you want to be kind of conscious of like how much ammo weighs, and you know, like how much ammo you disperse when you fire. And this gun, because it does such high damage per shot, it definitely would be a contender for a weapon if you want to carry light, you know, loads. But the only downside is the ammo is quite rare. Like, I usually have to kind of wait at a vendor for a couple of days in-game just to get maybe 100 or 200 rounds. So that's kind of the side effects of it. But as you can see, it melts. Maybe that scope would have been helpful. Did you shoot it? This really helps with, especially on very hard difficulty, a lot of the enemies can be quite bullet spongy. And this definitely kind of negates that level of bullet sponge. And it's quite good hipfire too. Really good fire. So House Rune really know what they're doing. Anyway, on to our next weapon on this list. Alright, number 3 on the list. This is my nostalgia pick. So, any game in this day and age, be it a modern shooter or a post-apocalyptic shooter, you're going to have the AK. AK-47, very nice rifle. I don't know too much about, I don't think this is an actual 47, because that stock doesn't look good. Maybe one of the gun nuts in the comments might be able to come through with me. Anyway, this, these guns don't kind of appear till like you're kind of middle of the game. And I remember I found one. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, because the AK. So if you look at the stats, it 41 damage. It fires 7.62 millimeter, very big round, very nice round. It's got a mag of 100 because it's modified here. It's got a 150 fire rate, 52 range, 70 accuracy, 5.4 mass. So let's go check out some of the mods on it. You can't have a game without a space AK, you know. So if we look at our barrel, we have a long barrel and a short barrel. So you can go with the short barrel if you want a more kind of AK-74U. And then the standard barrel if you want that more AK. So we're keeping the standard barrel on. For the laser sight or no laser sight, the laser sight just increases your accuracy and makes it a little bit heavier. Optic, we got iron sight or reflex. Ooh, we actually got, that is a Russian style rail mount. I don't know about the optic though. That's kind of spacey. For the muzzle, we've got a muzzle brake, a suppressor, or no mod. So the muzzle brake increases long range accuracy and stability at the cost of hip fire, and a suppressor makes things sneaky. So we're gonna go with a suppressor for this, just because. Now for the grips in stock, you have an ergonomic grip, a standard grip, or a tactical grip. Standard grip is standard, ergonomic increases accuracy and ADS speed, and tactical increases ADS speed, reload, and stability. So we're gonna go with that one. For the magazine, we've got quite a few. So we've got the drum mag, obviously, which increases the mag to 100. Small mag makes the round 10, and it, at the cost of ammo capacity, One thing that's quite interesting, I will say about that mag. So that mag is actually, fun fact, that is a mag belonging to the ASVAL, which is another gun in this game. It's interesting that it's used by the AK. I don't know why you would go with 10 rounds. Default mag is 30 rounds. You got your standard banana mag, really nice. Then you've got the tactical mag, which is a lighter mag with a little bit more reload speed. And then we've got armor piercing. We're going to go with armor piercing just because it bumps the damage up. For the internals, we've got a hair trigger, high power, or high velocity. So we're going to go with high power just because that extra damage. Hair trigger increases the fire rate, and high velocity increases the accuracy and range. So yeah, let's go check it out. I'm kind of sad that there's no stock for it, but you know, it is what it is. Oh yeah, that's not a real Russian site. Anyway, we're gonna go to our usual spot now and shoot some pirates. All right, so here we are again. So it looks quite good in game, and maybe a bit small. I wonder if Bethesda just kind of kit bashed it with other guns, or if it's based off a version of the AK. So we'll check some. Okay, so as you can see, stealth mode, it's not amazing. I think the thing is, when you're playing stealth in this game, you kind of want to have single fire rounds. But the suppressor is handy for keeping the recoil down and also making the rounds a little sneakier. You can see those armor piercing rounds absolutely tear through enemies. Hip fire is not too bad. I feel like actually in hindsight I probably would have put on the 100 round mag. Just because. Hip fire is not amazing at range. Oh, excuse me. It's quite cool though, because the it's just nice seeing kind of old school weapons in a Bethesda game. Range, it's not a very good weapon at range. It kind of kicks a little bit too hard. But anyway, this was the Space AK, or the old assault rifle. Now on to the next weapon. Alright, so this weapon we're going to be looking at, this is kind of the more for the Western feel. Now, it's a pretty cool weapon. This is the Tombstone. This weapon, it's quite an interesting looking weapon because it has that sort of the Freestar Collective, like Western vibe. But it also kind of gives me like, if you ever look at the weapons in Metro, it's like if Metro was like based in the West instead of in Russia. Really cool gun. So if we look at it, it 64 damage, physical damage, fires 11mm rounds. It's got a base mag of 20, 90 fire rate, 52 range, 71 accuracy, and 4.35 mass. Let's go check out some of the perks. This is a weapon that I haven't a whole lot of experience with. I picked up one early on in the game, and I really liked it. It feels really good. It looks really good. So we've got standard barrel and we've got long barrel. Long barrel increases the accuracy, recoil, and range at the cost of ADS speed, which is not a huge issue. Laser sight, we've got no laser sight or laser sight. You know, the real laser sight increases accuracy. Optic, we've got an iron sight, recon, reflex, or short scope. Recon increase marks enemies while aiming, reflex just lets you see, and then short scope is 2 times. For the muzzle, we've got a compensator that increases stability and hipfire accuracy at the cost of long range accuracy, and then muzzle brake does the very opposite. And then we have a suppressor here, which I'm going to add. Suppressor makes things sneaky. So for the mag, we've got armor piercing rounds, we've got a large mag, penetrator rounds. That makes them very high damage. White hot rounds, which are chemically tipped. The large mag brings it up to 36. With armor piercing, it's 64. We're going to go with penetrator rounds. 70 damage. Internal, we can have a hair trigger, high power, or high velocity. We're going to go with high power for that extra damage. Hair trigger increases the fire rate, and high velocity increases how fast the weapons travel. Let's go check it out. Alright, so we're coming back this spot. So it fires a lot slower than a lot of assault rifles in the game. It kind of seems like more of the role of a carbine, in that it's like a shorter kind of profile. We're gonna see how it performs stealth first. Okay, so it's a lot more useful for stealth compared to the Space AK. That lower mag, it's like sacrificing the kind of the mag for extra damage. Again, probably not the best thing, but I was just going to see how it performs maximum damage. It's definitely a cool gun. I think Bethesda did like a really good job with a lot of the different weapons in this game, but I feel like the Freestar Collective weapons are definitely the coolest, like in that, like how they look and they fit their aesthetic really well. It's got very good accuracy at range. I think that's a side effect of the fact that it doesn't kick very high. I accidentally overcompensated and went too low, so if we just... As you can see, I'm like barely adjusting. It like rises very slowly. Again, it's... if you have your perks in... I don't have any perks for assault weapons currently. Or like rifles in general. Who's shooting me? Hello? Yeah, this was the Tombstone. Really, really cool weapon. Now on to the next one. Alright, for our fifth weapon and kind of our slot for SMG, we've got the Kodama. So while this is an assault rifle, it kind of fills the role of an SMG more so, and this is my favorite weapon in the game. It looks really cool. It's basically a space vector. It fires 7.7mm rounds, which is quite large. That's bigger than AK rounds, potentially. We don't know the other variable, because with ammunition there's two. Like AK is 7.62 by 39. So with this, we know that it's a longer cartridge, but it might not be a wider one. So this, with the extended mag, it's got 66 in the mag, 170 fire rate, 23 range, 73 accuracy, 4.65 mass. Now this thing is like insane up close. I got a version that had a legendary perks, and it was insane. So start off with the laser sight. We can get the laser sight that just increases our accuracy a little bit. We're gonna just standard laser sight just for it. For the optics, you can have a reflex sight or an iron sight. Reflex sight just gives you better target acquisition. Muzzle, we can go with a compensator, a muzzle brake, or a suppressor. I like the suppressor. Compensator increases your hip fire accuracy. Actually, we'll do compensator because hip fire. Muzzle brake is the opposite. It's more for long range combat, which I wouldn't recommend on this. For the stock, we've got a folding stock. You've got your standard grip, your tactical folding stock, or your tactical grip. Now, depending on how you want to spec this, so the folding stock is a sturdy stock for recoil management. Standard stock is how it is by default. Tactical folding stock, quicker aim down sight and stability, and a lighter grip that increases ADS speed, reload speed, and stability. So we're going to go with the tactical grip because we want to make this more of a kind of an SMG. For the magazine, we've got standard, this fires flechette rounds. We've got standard flechette rounds, which is 30 rounds. We've got the flechette tactical, which is 30 rounds, better ADS speed. Flechette large, which is 44, increases the ammo capacity at the cost of ADS. And then there's drum mag. Now the cool thing about flechette rounds, for anyone who doesn't know, they're like these tiny little darts that like they have in. They're mainly used in shotguns. They have like extra penetrative power. For the internal, we can go high power or high velocity. We're going to go with high power. High power increases the damage. High velocity increases the other one. And then for the receiver, we have burst fire or fully automatic. burst fire fires 3 rounds per trigger pull. So we're going to go with burst fire. Yeah, let's go check it out, shall we? Alright, let's check this out. Like I said, it's a really, really cool gun. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have it. I'm a big fan of the vectors. I'm going to have to get kind of close with this weapon, because it's more of an SMG. Hello there, sir. Like that burst fire. Come on, let me see your health bar. It's a hip fire machine, which makes sense because it's meant to be an SMG more so than anything else. Hello there. Who's to bring a knife to a gunfight? It doesn't do like as much damage as like some of the other weapons, but it's very satisfying to use. It also has very little recoil, which kind of makes sense because it's an SMG. As you can see, against kind of more harder to kill enemies, like higher levels, it takes a lot more damage to kill them, but it still gets the job done. That was the Kodama. Really, really cool weapon. Now on to our final weapon on the list. Alright, so the final weapon on the list is the Orion. Now, the Orion is used by the UC. It's like kind of the main UC assault weapon or rifle. It's a laser weapon. It fires more akin to the tri-beam laser from Fallout. And there's a couple of cool things about this weapon. One of the first things is, because it's the main weapon of the UC, there's a lot of magazines in-game that increase its usability, increasing its mag size and its damage. Another thing is you can spec it to be quite effective. Like, mid-game on my first playthrough, I was like low on a lot of ammo types, and I noticed I had a lot of energy rounds. So I picked up one of these off a dead pirate, and it was plain sailing for like the longest time. So if we look at the stats, it's got 102 energy damage. It fires 3 kV laser rounds, 45 rounds in the mag, 33 fire rate, 65 range, 86 accuracy, and 6.70. So we're gonna go and upgrade it. Here's my Orion. So first and foremost, we got our standard barrel, and we got our long barrel. Long barrel increases the accuracy, the range, and recoil, but we get a little bit worse ADS, which isn't a huge issue. For laser sight, standard laser sight or recon laser sight, adds it there, which is kind of a cool location for it. We're gonna go with the recon. Optic, we've got iron sight, medium scope, recon scope, reflex, and short. Now this is one of the guns where like I would recommend a scope on it, because this is quite, you could use as a kind of a marksman rifle. For the muzzle, we've got stealth lasers that reduces the visibility. We've got focus nozzle and focus lens. Focus nozzle increases the damage and the range. I'm going to recommend stealth laser. We're just going to try it out just to see, because this, when I did use this, I used it very much as like a kind of, like I said, like kind of a marksman weapon. And then we can have the stabilizing stock, which is a specialized mag assisted that increases accuracy, the cost of ADS speed while standing still. So we're going to go with that. And then for the magazine, we've got quite a lot here. So we've got our standard battery, which is 45 rounds. Tactical battery, 45, but we reload faster. Small battery, 35, better reload. Large battery, 65. Ignition beams, lasers now burn enemies. Or electromagnetic, which lasers now EMP. So we're going to go with ignition beams, just because that extra damage. And then for the internal, we have no mod, we have amplified, overclocked, or precision tuning. Precision tuning increases the accuracy and range. Overclocked increases the fire rate. We're going to go with amplified. So yeah, now let's go check it out. Alright, so let's try this out. So I haven't really used the stealth rounds much. We're going to see how it performs. So as you can see there, it does make them quieter. As you see, the rounds both... Did I get him? Aha, I got him. Okay, so they seem to be slightly oblivious to what is going on. It sounds really cool though. Let me get a little bit closer. Show them I'm the bad guy. Hello, gentlemen. The fire rate's quite high. Sometimes the accuracy can be a bit questionable, just because you're firing like 2 rounds. But this is such a cool gun. And it fits really well with the kind of the aesthetic of the UC. It's very kind of futuristic, but not extremely futuristic. Setting them on fire is a bit of a bonus. As you can see there, the accuracy kind of lacks sometimes. But yeah, this was the Orion, and this was the video. Hope you guys enjoy this content. It's a little different. Let me know what you guys think of the weapons I've listed. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? And if so, what weapons, when it comes to assault rifles, or rifles in general, what do you guys go for? Next week, I will be uploading a sniper version. I kind of wanted to keep the sniper version different, because even though technically they're all counted as rifles in this game, it just wouldn't fit. Anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Chat to you in the next one.